Hey folks, it's Amy here. Welcome to a brand new vlog where I am currently in Cannes, the south of France, having some time with my coach and hanging out with a beautiful yogini, Ilana Robertson.
Just in case you were wondering, it's not all sweetness and light because there were maggots in my breakfast.
Got to say, after that breakfast, things did pick up and we had a lovely day out doing some sort of non-yogi things, did a little bit of shopping. You know, who doesn't want to buy souvenirs? Ilana and I met at a Lorin Roach yoga meditation teacher training at Shri Yoga in Brisbane. She's an awesome restorative yoga teacher and coach, and we have also caught up a few times at immersions and other yoga events. The meals did pick up. We had an amazing salad each, no maggots in sight.
Right now I am in my very nice apartment. I have a gorgeous balcony. I'll take you outside, but it's way too glary today, but trust me, it's really pretty. I want to talk a little about the benefits of teaching classes, one-off classes, as a way to promote your ongoing yoga classes. A couple of people in the Growing a Yoga Business round that's just completed have been approached to teach at special events, school fairs, community expos, in-store appearances, and we've been workshopping how you can do that in a way that's really effective for your yoga business, as a way to foster ongoing studentship from the people who happen to be there on the day. And so I thought, well, you know what, I think maybe this will be useful to other people. So here it is, Amy's take on how you can make the very most of a one-off guest appearance offering yoga classes. So often people will say to me, I've been approached to teach a complimentary class at the school sports day, or like in store at Sweaty Betty, Lululemon, those sorts of things, or at the community well-being expo, but I'm not going to get paid for it. Do you think I should do it? And my answer absolutely is always yes. All of that stuff you always want to say yes to. Two reasons why you always want to say yes. One, what we always need to remember in this community is that we heart yoga. We love yoga because we know that it heals, that it transforms, that it saves. We think yoga is the bee's knees, right? That's kind of why we're in the game to start with. So if you can offer your yoga to new people and maybe entice them into yoga land, that is beautiful service. If you are doing that with an open heart and as a way of celebrating what you know to be transformative, of course you want to say yes to that opportunity, because if we can get more people into the yoga club, the world is a better place. Remember, I always want more people to drink the yoga Kool-Aid, because we know that they're going to be better as a result. Maybe they're, maybe not immediately, maybe down the road, maybe they just have a, greater understanding. Maybe they don't even go to your class at all, but they just watch it and a penny drops. I used to teach yoga at a men's prison, and there was always about 25 men who would come to the yoga class. I taught there for a little while, I don't know, handfuls of classes. There was about 25 men who would come to the class, and only ever 8 of them would actually do yoga. 8, 10, 12 maybe max, but the rest would just sit and watch. They weren't comfortable to do the yoga themselves, but they would keep coming back. And it wasn't because I was the only woman at the prison in my Lululemons. I wasn't the only woman at the prison, and I also wasn't allowed to wear my Lululemons, so there was none of that going on. I really believe that they came because they were interested. It wasn't quite the right time for them to practice yoga for whatever reason, but I know that for many of them, a seed was planted and that yoga will be part of their journey further down the road. The same is true for you when you go and do guest appearances at things like the sports day, the in-store, the whatever. So we want to say yes to those opportunities, even when they're unpaid, because it means you get to share yoga with new people, and that is just so beautifully important. Don't you think the world would be better if more people did yoga? So that's reason number 1. Reason number 2 is because it is great for your yoga business if you are prepared, right? And there's a couple of things that you can do to be really well prepared for when you do have that opportunity to teach new people. so that it can really help you grow your yoga business. So the first, there's 3 things I'm going to share about how to make the best use in a business sense from one of those, I'm just going to call them like special guest starring, one-off guest appearance classes. The first one is you have to teach really well. You're not getting paid. You may never see any of those people again. It might be in a funky kind of environment, like maybe you're in a clothing store, or you're teaching in a room where there's a whole bunch of people selling soap and essential oils and tarot cards and whatever. It might not be ideal, but you gotta prepare and be awesome, your version of awesome, the whole thing that you teach. So prepare the class itself. Teach something that's really going to be great for people. Teach something that's got an enticing title and a really juicy theme and content that not only you feel rock solid to teach, but you know is going to be appropriate for your audience. I taught at a yoga festival, a local, first time it had ever happened, yoga festival last year. And 60 people never seen me before, and so I wanted to make sure I don't know who these people are going to be, so I need to make sure that the sequence that I choose is accessible to all sorts of folks, because we've got everything from like Drew people to Ashtangis and everything in between. How can I teach like nerdy alignment based Hatha yoga in a way that's going to be interesting to all of them, and how can I make it sound really exciting on the program? If you've been on the podcast for a while, you probably remember that I did like Divine Love and Radha and Krishna is my thing. Juicy, we had some bounce chicka wow wow music. Nothing like being a little bit nerdy, safe, provocative to entice people to come along. Anyway, my point is, be awesome. Point number 1, be awesome. Just because it's free, you're not getting paid. It might be in a gymnasium or a convention center or what, hotel ballroom or whatever. Teach like the best class of your life. Turn up well prepared, be in love with what you're going to share, rock solid about it, and you're not got a room full of people who've never done yoga before and you're teaching them Ashtavakras. Don't do that. Like, teach something that's scalable. You've got a 20-year practitioner there. They can do Bird of Paradise when everyone else is just trying to figure out how to bind their arm, like flapping their kind of seal flippers, because they can't even understand where their arms are when they can't look at them. You know what I'm talking about. 2, you want to have something that people will want to get from you after the fact. This is where you ask people to sign up for your mailing list so that you can continue to be in contact with them. Now, don't go into like GDPR freak out. Do it well, whatever the law of your land says about data. Collect it in a good way, like have some iPads or an iPad with your MailChimp so it'll go, whatever. Like don't send me an email about the GDPR. I get it. Do that. If you don't know what the GDPR is, either find out or forget about it, depending on what you're doing. But my point is, you want to have something to give people, like you will send them at the end as a way to incentivize them to sign up to your mailing list. So that might look like a PDF of the yoga poses that you taught. That might look like a group photo of everybody at the end because everyone has had such a great time. That might look like a guided visualization MP3 based on what you did during Shavasana, or it might include a chant that you did, an invocation, a recording of that. Generate something on the day that you can then send to people after the fact as a way of incentivizing them to opt in for your mailing list. Now, again, this is not salesy or pushy or weird. People give you their data voluntarily. do not like forcibly extract people's email addresses from them, but it might be something like at the end of the class you say, folks, I've had such an awesome time with you. You're all rock star yogis and yoginis. If you would like to try this sequence at home, I've put it all together in a PDF with some instructions on how to do it. Love to send it to you. I've got some friends walking around with iPads. Punch in your email address, I'll send it to you tonight. That's it. Does that sound pushy or salesy or weird? No. And on the thing it says, and we'll also put you on the mailing list, and people can decide, do I want to put in my email address here or not? Or you could say, thanks folks, my name's Amy, I'm glad you came, I hope you had a really good time. I've got a guided visualization recording that's very similar to the one we did today. If you'd like it, I'd love to send it to you. Just come up front, put your name on my clipboard, I'll email you tonight, and I'll also subscribe you to my newsletter. That's it. Make sure you have that thing, figure out what it's going to be before you get there so that you can talk confidently about it at the end of your class. Don't be weird, don't be like, I've kind of got this like thing. But don't worry, just go. Don't worry. That weirds people out. If you're creepy and weird, people will feel creepy and weird. Be confident. You got something that's awesome. Feel great about it. You know that it's going to help people. And trust that the right people will sign up for it, and everyone else will be like, man, I just want frozen yogurt or whatever. Then, point number 3 is you then want to have a follow-up email sequence to send to those people with preferably, this is getting a little bit high-tech, stay with me, a time-bound reason to buy something from you. So that might look like they sign up, and then that night you send out an email that's got the group photo of everyone being like post-pava happy yogis, and a link to the Dropbox thing that's got your guided visualization recording. And in the email you say, I've also got a beginner's workshop coming up in 2 weeks. I'd love for you to sign up, and if you sign up by the end of the weekend, you can have $10 off, and here's a coupon code to get the discount. So you're giving them a next step. You enjoyed this, would you like to buy that? Remember, this is the dessert menu. If you don't know what I'm talking about, dessert menu, go subscribe to my podcast, Abundant Yoga Teachers. I talk about it a lot over there. Go find it on Apple Podcast, Abundant Yoga Teachers. You want to give people the dessert menu. Look, it never feels weird when the waiter comes around and says, madam, would you like to look at the dessert? Except, of course, if you're not like a madam. Sir, would you like to look at the dessert? You never think, fudge, that guy's just speaking, like, I don't want to buy his stupid creme brulee. Get out of my face. If you're anything like me, you say, yeah, I want to look at the menu. You're never going to get the dessert. But you always want to look at the menu. You're interested. Or sometimes you get the dessert, right? When in France. Whatever. But you never feel weird about it because the waiter is not weird about it. Same with your email follow-up. Would you like to buy this thing? If you like this, you're probably going to love that. Would you like to sign up for my beginners series? Or it was great to meet you at the Wellbeing Expo. If you're looking for more self-care, I offer a 3-part private yoga package. And for the next week, it's $50 off if you sign up with this coupon code. Here's a link. No one feels icky or weird about that. People can go, huh, creme brulee? No. Or bring it on, and espresso as well, thank you, right? So you email that night with an offer, the free thing that they said they would like, and a time-bound offer. What is it? Sign up for my beginner series, come to term 2 classes, take some private yoga with me. Would you like to know more about my retreat? Offer them something that they will purchase from you and give them a time-bound reason to buy it. What is that? That is actually putting a date on something. Sign up by the end of the weekend and you'll have an extra private session with me while we're in Bali. Sign up by the end of the week and you can have the early bird discount for 20% off. Sign up with a friend by Wednesday and you'll both receive an eye pillow at the end of the workshop. Whatever it is. Unless there is a time on it, a date, people, bless us, we're all a little bit crap, right? Life is kind of like busy. So they might love your offer. They might want to buy so many of your whatevers, but the fact is, like, life should have written a rota. Like, we all get it, right? There's stuff. And so if there's not a reason for them to go, shiz, I need to do that now before I forget. I don't want to miss out on the insert your whatever extra discount, bring a friend for free, eye pillow, whatever. They just won't do it. So what you want to do is have this time-bound reason to buy, because we want people to say yes when they're feeling really excited about it, when they're much more likely to just be like, bam, I know that was awesome. I remember that chick from today. That workshop was the best thing that I did all day. I never thought I would try yoga, but you know what? I think maybe this beginner's thing is good for me. Rather than them just going and thinking about it for a week because there's no time-bound reason to buy, aka they never actually come back to your email except in 2 years' time when they realize they've got 1,000 emails in their inbox and they need to do something about it. They get their credit card out and they sign up to your thing in the moment, right? Then what you can also do is send like another 1 or 2 more if the price point is bigger. That's a whole other conversation. You can send them another couple of follow-up emails. So for example, I teach, this is a real one. I taught a class at a Lululemon in-store Sunday morning class, a 1 hour long class. At the end of the class, I say, hey folks, I've got a retreat coming up. It's in Thailand. It's for yoga teachers. I've got some postcards up here. If you'd like more information, please pop your name on this piece of paper and I'll send you some. And like, I don't know, 15 people put their email address on the thing. That night, I send them the email. It says, hey, it was so great to connect with you today at Lululemon. I had a really good time. I hope you did too. Here's some photos that I took, and here's the information about the retreat. And if you sign up in the next week, right, you can have the early bird price. Just use coupon code iHeartYoga, whatever. Like, don't freak out if you can't make a coupon code. There are other ways that you can do it. And then, so that was Sunday. Then on Wednesday, I send them all another email that says, hey, just wanted to check in. I see that you've got the information about the retreat. It's going to be amazing. Tell them more about it. You know, there's still a couple of days to get the early bird. If you're thinking of coming along, shoot me an email back if you have any questions. Happily answer them for you. And P.S., don't forget, just 4 more days until the early bird finishes. Then on Saturday, I send them one more email that was like, hey there, last time I'll talk to you about this, but I wanted to make sure you're not going to miss out on the great saving. The retreat's going to be awesome. A couple of paragraphs about how and why. And then another call to action that says, don't forget, I had such a great time with you on Sunday at Lululemon. It'd be great if you could, I had such a great time with you on Sunday at Lululemon. If you want to come on my retreat, I'd love to give you the saving. It's going to save you $200, and think of the body work you can have in Thailand with that money. Here's the link again. Don't forget the coupon code, and thanks again for being such a great part of the class on Sunday. That's it. Now remember, when people are first new to you, they are so much more likely to want to read your emails. Once they've been on your mailing list for a while, bless them and me, I'm one of them, you see someone's name in your inbox, you're like, oh cool, I like her life. But when I've just met someone and I'm like amped for their stuff, I'm going to be opening all of those emails. It doesn't feel weird to me to get 3 emails in a week from the same person when I've just kind of fallen in yoga love with them. So don't feel weird about it. It's very easy to delete an email. So don't worry. People aren't going to be like, oh my God, my life is over. I'm feeling so harassed because someone sent me 3 emails in a week. It doesn't happen like that. People just go, tick the box and delete. That's it. So, a micro teaching in this week's vlog about how to use guest appearances to your and your community's advantage. Remember, more yoga for people is always good. So say yes if someone offers you an opportunity to teach a special guest appearance yoga class. Doesn't matter if you don't get paid. Go do it because new people will be exposed to you and yoga, and it will be good for some of those people. This is Savor. Let people meet you. Let people experience yoga. Let people go, oh wow, that was so much cooler than I thought. Maybe I could do this. Or, you know what, yoga's not for me, but I am going to get back to tap dancing, or whatever their thing is. It's going to be good for them. And it's also going to be great for your business if you are prepared. So prepared looks like freaking be awesome. Teach a great class that's got an exciting title, that's well themed, and that's available to different types of bodies, people, yoga experience or lack thereof, that's modifiable so that you can engage with people and you can teach something that's really interactive for everybody. You don't want to have half the group sitting down while everyone else does Bakasana because they're like, what? I don't even like, huh? Yeah. 2, have a thing that you know in advance that you can give to people after the fact in exchange for their email, whether it's an MP3 recording, whether it's photos from the day, whether it's a PDF of the sequence that you taught, whether it's a Nadi Shodhana instructional video because they might be interested to try it again at home, whatever. Have a thing that people can sign up for so that you can put them onto your mailing list. Do it in a way that's beautifully like Saucha, cleanliness with your email, data management, capturing, yada, GDPR, all of it. Do it well, be a yogi, but do it. And point number 3 is email it to everybody that night along with the dessert menu. What's the next thing that would be great for them that you would like to offer to them? Don't get into drama about whether they want it or not. People know, right? If they're just not that into you, that's okay. But remember, the waiter just goes, madam, would you like the desserts? And you say yes or no, and the waiter doesn't go into like existential crisis because you don't want to look at the dessert menu. Be like that. If you don't feel icky and weird about making the offer, people won't feel icky and weird about reading it. Accept a small few, and if they do good, you want them off your mailing list because for whatever reason, you guys aren't the right fit. So that's a good thing. Then a couple of follow-up emails to really entice these newbies while they're really interested in you to take up the offer. Time-bound reason to purchase. Hope this has been useful. Go teach more people. Get out there, share your gifts, be in front of new people and say yes to all of these amazing opportunities as they arrive. I don't know any French because I would say something witty and intelligent now in French to finish, but I studied Chinese at high school, so Zaijian, and see you next time.
Folks, if you're ready to grow your yoga biz in 2018, don't forget, registrations are now open for growing your yoga biz, my awesome 6-month yoga business training. You'll love it. Check it out, amymcdonald.com.au/growing your yoga biz.